You and that old stogie he's got. Oh my goodness. I can smell it from here. This is Stir in the Pot, Don Kincaid, and my very special guest, Sammy Diaz.
Yes, truly. What's going on, Kincaid?
Hey man, that's a big old stogie. A little too big for this kid. I don't do stogies. You're a different breed than I am. I weigh about 35 pounds. You're jacked. You're jacked. Yeah. Uh, Mr. Diaz, before we start into this, a lot of shit going on right now in the world. Yourself, your family, you're beautiful. You're a gorgeous little brand new baby. Oh my God, it's so cute. You're all good?
Everyone's safe. Everyone's doing their part. Everyone's trying to stay safe as we can be. My girlfriend, she's a nurse, so she's in it. So she's in the hospital every time she goes to work. So we're
Mm.
doing the best. We're doing the best we can. So
Well,
do what we can. Wash your hands. Stay home. Stay safe.
see, on this show, we say wash your hands, wash your ass. Uh, now, maybe not in that order, but since I talked to Matthias, I'm sure you're familiar with Matthias. I talked to him, and he goes, maybe you should make it a sandwich. Do the hands, do the ass, do the hands again. We do like a little ass sandwich.
What the? He's crazy. He's crazy.
Uh, First things first, uh, I want to give you a huge congratulations. And I know I've already mentioned it, but you have a beautiful brand new baby. And I just want to send big congratulations and a lots of love to yourself, your girlfriend, and your brand new child, man. Congratulations.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Uh, his fatherhood's been great so far. A lot of sleepless nights, but you yourself would know about that. Me having a daughter also. So
That's what you sign up for. You better be ready for it because it doesn't stop when they're babies. Look at me. I'm a
yeah,
50-year-old baby. I mean, come on, Sammy. uh,
yeah, man. It's great.
so
It's great. I love it. I love it, man. I love
that's
the.
good, man.
I love the whole. I love the whole view as family. I love the word family because that's what we all live for. At the end of the day, that's all we have.
Leading up to having a child, you know the child is coming. You've got a time frame. The child comes
Yeah,
out, but all of a sudden, Sammy, your brain goes, "Holy shit, this is like real."
yeah. We're live, pal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it just
The hard
came
cam
up.
is on.
Yeah, forever. It just she came 2 weeks. She came 2 weeks early, so it was just we didn't expect it. Like so, it wasn't planned. Like we just
Uh-huh.
had to adjust. I was at work. I had to leave, and the rest is history.
Hey,
It's a
uh,
great place.
doesn't it change you though? It changes you just a little bit. It puts a little bit of different perspective in your heart, in your head.
Absolutely, and as like with my fiance going back to work, like she leaves me with the baby when she goes to work. So it's like I have so much more respect for her now that she's like I see what she goes through when I go to work and when I'm out doing shows and I come home and she's talking about you get the baby, it's your turn now. It's like now I see why. Like, yeah,
Uh,
it's a lot of
if,
work. It's a lot of work. Hard work.
if I may, when mom's away, do you and the kid hang out and smoke stogies?
No. This is my getaway right now. They're in the living room right now doing their thing. She's probably cooking and baby's sleeping. So this is my getaway.
Hey, I gotta ask, man. I'm just putting it out there.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Well, I gotta say, Mr. Diaz, we used to have kind of a very solid relationship. It's gotten quite rocky since you're coming back post injury. So I appreciate the way this has started because I was expecting a very rocky start. So, with that all being said, um, I have sat down with you at the Test of Strength Dojo, which I absolutely love as a fan. Holy cow, what a cool environment. We've talked about it though, but I want to touch upon it again. Very small environment. There's about 20, 30 people. And man, what a good time it is at TOS. Talk to the fans because not everybody knows about all the places, but I talk about TOS all the time, so I hope they would have some kind of inkling. But talk to us about TOS, just the environment. Slick Wagner running the show and doing his thing and all of that good stuff.
Oh, Wagner is great. He's one of the best, not only as far as like human beings, but as a trainer, promoter. He's a man. Like I watched him. Like I watched him since I was younger. Obviously, just like getting to know him is just like even better because you want to know your trainer's a good human being in this wrestling business. Because there's a lot of trainers that just take your money and get out of here, kid, or whatever. But he's definitely one of the best in my opinion. He's humble. He always told me, stay hungry, stay humble, work hard. Hard work doesn't go unnoticed. You can't deny it. And I couldn't ask for a better trainer. You know, he's definitely not only helped me as a performer in the ring, but as a man outside the ring to even to get me ready to be a father. You know, he gave me so much advice and just made sure I was mentally prepared for it. You know, so I give a lot of respect to Wagner Brown. He's the man.
Man, there's a lot of love that goes on in TOS. Now, what I like about TOS, especially, is, well, a few things, but it's that tightness, that really, really intimate feel. But Wagner doesn't, show you in ring stuff. And like you said, he doesn't show you a little bit, take your money and say, hey, hit the bricks, we've had enough. He
Yeah,
gives you guys all sorts of aspects of it. The promos, doing interviews post match, the camera that's up there, getting you camera ready, making sure you work the camera and stuff like that. Psychology, the whole 9 yards, respect behind the scenes, shaking the hands, introducing yourself, helping out with the ring, everything that goes with it. Slick Wagner Brown brings that to the table to TOS, and I find that remarkable because that's not given in every single place. Not probably in only a handful of that I would probably know.
yeah, man. As far as like I won't say any names or anything like, but I remember doing a show with my friend brothers. And it was just I remember we was helping out with the ring after, and I called a couple of other students or even just younger talent that just started wrestling or whatever, and they were just like, "Yo, come help with the ring," and then they were like, oh, "I'm not helping with the ring," and I just looked at Richie like, "You fucking believe this?" And we just like, whatever. Let's just. It's just little stuff like that. If you got that attitude and mindset, it's just like you're not just gonna not you're not gonna make it far. It's just you're not gonna have any friends. Also, it's gonna be it doesn't look good on not only that person but on the school also. Like you gotta step up and do this. You gotta do the shit behind the scenes. You know
Mm-hmm.
that stuff pisses me off. But as far as like us, I contribute to anything I can, especially if I'm booked for a show. If you need help with the ring, you need help with anything, chairs. I try to help out with anything because, like I was taught early, even before Wagner Brown, even in PWA, you help out with anything just to it doesn't technically just have to be with wrestling. So that's like if you go to work and
Mm-hmm.
it's just a little messy, your boss gonna ask you to help out clean up. You don't get an attitude with your boss. Like you might
Yep.
get an attitude, but it's like you're still gonna shut up and do it. You should want to do it. You want to work in a safe environment. You want to work in a clean environment.
Absolutely. And as a fan, kind of getting into it a little bit more than most fans would, I feel uh, that's that should be part of the respect end of that whole thing of when you walk through the door, shake hands, introduce yourself. I see it firsthand. Everybody does that. It's so like, tight
Absolutely,
knit, you know.
absolutely. You
But
want to shake hands, help out. Every time I get to a show, I go see the promoter. I ask if he needs help with anything. If he says he's all set, I go put my bags down and go to stretch out, warm up, and get ready for the show. But I still would try to contribute with help, even if he doesn't need it, because
mhm,
that's just the type of person I am. I just try to contribute in any way, shape, or form.
And there was something that you mentioned previous. Uh, you asked, hey, why don't you come over, help and set up the ring? They were like, nah, that's not what I'm into or whatever. And you're
Yeah,
like,
they said
well,
it. They said
Richie,
it in a joke. They said it in a joking way, and I was just like, I just that shit pissed me off, and I just like, Richie, you believe this shit? And it's just like whatever, it's just whatever. But I won't say any names or mention where it was
no,
at because I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, you know.
no, that's fine. But my point being is you said that now they're representing where they came from. You're
Yep.
representing TOS, and that's a big thing that, Slick is high on, is when you leave these doors and you spread your wings and go to other promotions, you've got to remember one thing. You're representing my name, you're representing your brothers and sisters, you're representing TOS. So when you say that representation thing, Slick is really high on that.
Yeah, yeah, of course, of course. Again, like he's been so helpful with so many things, and that's the last thing I would want for me saying it as one of his students. Like I look at myself as one of his not main students, but one of his top students. I'll say one of his top students. So if I put a bad name for myself, that doesn't look good on him, and he that wouldn't go good with him. You know, that's my guy, and I wouldn't want him to like feel like, oh damn, you fucked it up or whatever. So that's the last thing I want, because then I'm gonna have to pay for it.
I know we've been kind of on TOS right now and not on Mr. Sammy Diaz, which I'm probably assuming you would prefer. But I, I like to get the feel from the talented men and women that I get to have on here, the honor that get to talk
Yeah.
to us, the fans, because I'm not a wrestler. I'll never get in that ring. I'll never be part of that show because, hey, let's face it, Mr. Diaz, as Mr. Ronnie Ribb says, I only weigh 35 pounds. I'm not that far off from that. And I'll never get in that ring. So I like to get the perspective of the men and women we talk to. Um, Now, we've talked character previously in our first encounter, if you will.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
I want to touch upon a little bit. Now, we talked your injury, um, and then you come back. I love the evolution of character. Like, it intrigues the shit out of me because you have the evolution of a character, you have evolution of wrestling, you have an evolution of a promotion at times, doing little tweaks here and there. So I'd like to talk to us fans about when you got injured, when you came back, you weren't the same Sammy. What the hell there? That's bad news. Didn't like that at all. You turned your back to the fans. Not cool. So kind of take us through that transition of a character because first you were on that face, the good guy side, and then you kind of switched over at a big show at Northampton. Take us through that.
Oh man, when I got injured, I was like, I felt like I was just getting hot. You know, I felt like I was, I felt like I was trying to take off where I was like doing good. I was getting out there and I was just making a name for myself and doing all the right things. And then I got hurt. Where you don't really, you don't go out there and plan like, oh, I'm gonna get hurt this match. So you don't get ready for that. It just came out of nowhere, and it's like, when I was out. The doc said I would be out 6 to 8 months. I came back in six, and I started wrestling in eight. So I'll say 6 to 8 months I came back in. And I was out. I had nothing but time, and I was just thinking like, what can I do to be different than when I was? Because I felt like I was doing all the right things, but I felt like I could improve in a lot of stuff. Like as a good guy, I know I lacked like a little bit of promos and stuff like that. Where I like after the promo, like after matches, we cut a promo, and I had to do the generic babyface promo where if it wasn't for the fans. I wouldn't be here and whatever, all this other stuff. So I was out and I had nothing but time. And when I was out, just thinking like, what can I do to be different? Like I started smoking these, and I started uh, I started going to training more, and I was like, I started to see Richie start training, and I was like, I like this guy. I see him training. Eli's always there, and we always joke around. Like there was always Eli and Jay. They were the first two to join the group, and there was always the first two to be together, tagging or whatever. Not even tagging, but Jay was managing Eli, and I was like, man, I like these guys. See what, let me see what happens from here. And then it was just when I came back, it was in Lone Survivor, the first one. And it was just let me try to be different. Let me just try to go on the other side. I pitched the idea. People were not so convinced yet. There was I had to fight for it. So because I was such a like wrestler performer. So it's like man, you're one of our top baby faces. So it'd be hard to uh, misplace that. It's hard to lose one of the top baby faces and turn them heel. So it's just like, all right, so let me just do this. Sorry, my little puppies are
Hey,
crying out.
that's okay, man. We're hanging at home, just talking. Don't even sweat it.
This is Ace right here. This is Ace. But yeah, I just wanted to come back and make an impact. You know, I just when you're out with you're out with a serious injury like I had with ACL, you just got nothing but time to think about what can you do. And I was like, I'm gonna come back and do things my way. I want to do things how I want to do. I want to do things how I feel wrestling should be. You know, I just wanted to be different than when I was before. With
Hmm.
the help of Richard E. Stone, Elijah Sticks, and Jay Brooks, we made it. We just clicked on chemistry. Like we just clicked in training, and once they saw that, it was like, yeah, let's just put these guys together. They're fucking goofing around all the time in class, and let's see what they can do. And we got the green light, and I feel like we hit a home run. It's been a whole year now, and
Hmm.
Lone Survivor 2, I got the main event with Mike Starros and Brian Pillman Jr. I feel like we had a great match, and I might have lost, but at the end of the day, I won, if that makes sense.
No, no, dude, because it absolutely makes sense. Now, I mentioned I
Well,
really
yeah,
don't like Jay.
one thing, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I
No,
say
no,
that
no.
because I come back at Lone Survivor, the first one, and come back in a year at Lone Survivor 2. That'll be a whole year since I made my return. And to be in the main event, that's always something I take personally because if the promoter or anyone's putting you in the main event spot, that means they trust you. So, especially with a guy that like Pillman Jr. that's on TV,
Hmm.
where the promoter puts you in a match with him, and also Skyros, he's a hell of a performer also. To show that he trusts me to be in the ring with those guys in the main
Hmm.
event of the show, it just shows how much confidence he has in me. So that's another thing I always take to heart because you either step up or you show out or you're gonna sink. You know,
Hmm.
I always try to win with the Sharks. I don't care who it is. I try to outperform anybody that's in the ring with me. That's my main focus always to try to be the best. And if you're not trying to be the best, then you're shortening yourself. That's my main thing.
Yeah, because that whole character switch, we used to get behind you and elevate Sammy Diaz. Then he came back. You wailed my boy Jay Brown, all hail Jay Brown, with with a chair
Job.
in the back. Uh, so
No, no.
that made
Garrett Holiday was in the back. Jay Brown was to the head.
you know you've hit him so many times. I can't even keep where you hit my boy. So I mean, uh,
What,
you
where
know
is he? Have you
that
seen
make
him?
no, I haven't seen a damn thing about him, and we're gonna get to that. Now you make an impact. You exactly what you wanted to accomplish. You took us, the fans, on a ride, and at the same time, you turned it up a little bit. You changed it. You tweaked Sammy Diaz. You didn't have to come out looking different, wearing anything, out of the ordinary. You just changed it up here, and then you changed it with your demeanor and such. And now, like you said, it's been a year. And in that main event, being Mike Skyros, Sammy Diaz, and Brian Pillman Jr., and I'm telling you, the first thing that myself and my dad said when we saw that announcement was like, holy shit. So, I mean, taking what you're saying, you're still a winner. That makes perfect sense, my man, because, dude, you guys really fucking shot it out of the park on that day, man. It was such a great match. Uh, you got the L, which was I was hoping for. But Mike Skyros getting the W, that kind of maybe surprised me a little bit, but not too much because hey, Brian Pillman's on the road a lot, so we didn't want to get that cup taken away from home and not be able to see it. So I was thinking it had to be one of each of you, Mike Skyros and Sammy. And I got to be honest, man, because of the run you've been on with the firm at this point and even previous, I really thought you were going to keep that K1 Classic trophy. And again, happy that you did it. Took the L. That was beautiful for us, the fans. Again, another ride.
Yeah, yeah. Not too happy about that. Obviously, Mike Garris caught me slipping. I feel like I was mainly focused on trying to prove a point to Brian Pillman Jr., who didn't mention me in his interview, and I made it my focus to put a beating on him so he knows what my name is and who I am.
So hilarious.
That kind of, I think that's what Mike Sky was capitalized on. Is he caught me off guard and I didn't expect it. And he hit me with that DT and he got the victory. But hopefully, when we get back from all this chaos, me and Skyros will go at it one more time. Hopefully for the last time, and I win back my trophy.
Well, I would love to see that because, I've gained a different respect for Mr. Skyros over the past, I don't know, maybe yearish or so, because we've been seeing him at TOS, so he's in our home base a little bit more often. And I got to say, I appreciate Mr. Skyros in the ring. Don't care for his tactics, if you will, but then he's changed a new leaf in Tessa's strength. He's kind of went from the dark side to the light side. You've gone from the light side to the dark side. So
Yeah,
I would love
it's
to
kind of
see you guys
crazy.
on a one-on-one.
It's kind of crazy. Last Lone Survivor, he was partners with Eli,
Mm-hmm.
and this year we're facing each other. We were facing each other in the main event. So it was like I wouldn't say we just switched roles, but he's definitely been he stepped up in TOS a lot since he lost his tag team partner. He's making an impact, and obviously he's the K1 champion, so
Mm.
he's doing pretty good for himself. So I give him that. But
So, go ahead.
but he has my trophy, so
Uh, when we get back from this whole King COVID thing, King COVID, did you see what I did there, King COVID? No, you don't
yeah,
like that one?
this is all your fault, Kincaid.
Uh, hey, let's not go that far. After this whole thing is all blown, I don't know if it's gonna ever really be blown over. This is gonna kind of be weird getting back to some normalcy, if you will. But when we
Yeah.
kind of find our way back to wrestling, um, you have your sights. I would assume is the K1 Classic Trophy, the Kowalski K1 Classic Trophy, and Mike Skyros. Is that the first thing that is on Sammy Diaz's on his list, if you will, the list?
Yes. Just because that's my next match, and I feel like I deserve a rematch because I made that trophy. I made that trophy as just as important as any other championship that was on TOS.
Mm-hmm.
And now that Skyros has it, I feel like if he's gonna he's gonna take the trophy, he gotta step up what I was trying to accomplish, and he has to fight all contenders. That was my main goal when I won that trophy, was to defend it on every show, and that's what I was doing up to Lone Survivor. So if he's gonna be the champion that I was, he's gonna have to do that also. But
Okay.
I say, yeah, that's gonna be my focus for now because I can't look forward to anything else. Because as soon as you start to look forward, that's where you slip up and you lose. That's
Mm-hmm.
why I'm just staying focused on the K1 right now. As far as later on, obviously, I want to be TOS champion one day. I'm not gonna say I don't want to be the TOS champion just because Dana Man has the championship. But if you're not in TOS trying to be TOS champion or TOS tag team champion, then what are you doing? If you're okay with just being right here, I'm not okay with that. I want to be up here. So to be up here, you got to be the TOS champion. And I feel like as far as in ring performances and in ring work, I feel like no one can touch me. So that's just me. I'm just not being arrogant or anything. I'm just being confident. I'm confident what I
Hmm.
can do in the ring. I'm confident what I bring to the table. I'm confident with my friends, brothers in my corner, with their support. And we don't all need to help each other with, like, if you go to a show, we're in the locker room with each other. We're on the road with each other. We're on the car. Like, we're hitting these towns with each other. We're not just guys that meet up at a venue. We are always together. And I always say, like, without them, I feel like without them, obviously, there's no this same idea that is right now that we are talking to. Like, those are my guys. Like, I feel like we all bring something different to the table, and we all click with each other. Where I feel like there's no other team that has that chemistry that we do with four guys. Like, you don't see too many four guys. There's always people bumping heads with each other, egos. But with us, it's just we don't we just click, and I feel like if we really wanted to, by the end of the year, maybe next year, we all could be TOS champions at the same time. With any of us holding the K1 Classic, two of us with the Tag Team Championship, and one of us with the TOS Championship. And that's our goal right now. That's to be the best in TOS. But
Hmm.
it's not too that goal is not unattainable. We're right there, So it's just we got to
Hmm.
keep working hard and try to get there.
Well, I hate to admit this, but check this shit out. March 19, or wait, March, April, we're in April. March 19, I sat down with Elijah Six. We did a one-on-one, stirring the pot, face to face, right?
Yeah, that's
Today, you are my you are my 113th interview that I've done since that interview. Okay?
my man. Yeah, shout out to yourself also, KK. You're doing a lot right now during this whole quarantine, and we
Thanks.
appreciate you. I like your shirt that you have on. I like your hat. You represent. You're doing a great job for all the boys right now in this quarantine time. So appreciate everything
Thank you.
that you're doing, bro.
Oh man,
You still
thank you for the
suck,
love.
but you still suck. You still suck, but you're doing great.
Good, because I still want to suck. I don't ever want to not suck with Sammy. So you are number 113, and the firm I have mentioned, and I kid you not, sir. If I haven't mentioned the firm at least one time, or Elijah Six, or Sammy, or Jay Bricks, or Richard E. Stone, on almost every single Skype or interview that I've done since March 19, I would give you $1 because I don't think there's very many that I haven't used the firm or your separate names in any video, because you guys, like you were just describing, there's four guys in one faction. It's hard enough to keep two guys in a tag team on the same page, never mind three or four guys. You four guys really pulled it together and have maintained a lot of steam. Now, I absolutely hate the firm when they walk through the curtain at any given point, anywhere they go, because you guys can create heat by not even saying a damn thing. Your music hits that doop, 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 and holy shit, the crowd immediately now starts to boo and give you crap. And what I'm driving at is I love to see that, because it's not just at TOS anymore. It's at Shut Up and Wrestle. It's at PAPW. It's at XWA. It's wherever you guys are going now. You are drawing heat. So that means the four of you as a collective are doing exactly what you need to be doing. Your jobs are fantastic. And I just want to run down real quick. We have the Hustle, Richard E. Stone. We have Esquire. We have the Muscle, Jay Bricks. We have the Ace, Sammy Diaz. And then we have the Goat, All Red E, uh, Elijah Six. Those four make up the firm. Now, if you go and look on the Twitter or whatever, the face page I'll use specifically, look up the firm wrestling. Follow these guys because you won't regret it. And I hate giving them all sorts of love and kind of boosting them up. But I'll tell you, I boo the bad guys But man, when they're talented, and I got to give credit where it's due, my friend. The firm right now, Elijah Six ripping up kid signs. What the fuck is going on with that?
Oh man, it's just when you got a sign in front of you that says the firm sucks. Don't put that thing in our face. Don't put that thing in our face. Whether you're a kid, whether you're an old lady, that's all right. You're gonna hear it from us, and we go against the rules. We don't got no script. We just go on the fly, and it just happens. Don't if you feel some type of way, you know what you paid for, and that's the problem. A lot of guys are scared to do certain things. If we just do it, if we don't ask for permission. we just we might ask for forgiveness after, but we don't ask for permission. That's one thing someone told me, aka Wagner Brown. He said, if you're gonna do something, don't ask for permission, ask for forgiveness. And that's what we do every time we go in the ring. Like whether we're at PAPW, XWA, touch of strength, we just do what we want and how we want to do it. It's fun, you know. It's fun getting under people's skin by just walking to the ring and having these kids screaming in our faces and old lady. I don't know if you remember the lady at PAPW Diesel Mania. I had the match with Nick Delta. The lady took her shoe off and act like she was gonna throw it at me. And I was like, I wish you would. Yeah, I would throw it right back at you and have you kicked out of here. But it's just fun, man. I'm having the most fun in my career right now, especially with my guys, because they're not. It's not just we're friends at the end of the day. We're family, like we're brothers. Like this is something that we speak to each other every day. We send each other memes, videos, pop each other. This is a real brotherhood that we have, and sometimes that's hard to find in wrestling. So when you got something like this, you gotta hold on to this, and you gotta just run with it. You know.
You know, you mentioned having the most fun in wrestling right now at this point in your career. My dad, as soon as you guys really got together and started really meshing and doing your thing, my dad said that same exact thing. Like a good year ago, when you guys really started this rolling, was, man, Sammy coming back and doing this thing. He looks like he's having the most fun ever. And I go, you know what? I hate to admit it, Pop, but I kind of think so. Now,
yeah, man,
I want to go.
It's great. It's
I
definitely
want
great,
to
man.
talk. I want to talk about this older lady at PAPW. We're at the Friday Night Alley fight specifically. Okay, it's a
Yep.
smaller environment. Sammy Diaz is the PAPW Friday Night Alley fight champion, and this specific, there's this one older lady in there. And when like Marasov comes off like Collusion or Pyramids of Power, this lady really gets so fired up. I can't even talk because I'm thinking about how she acts. I'm telling you, she does the same exact shit when the firm collectively, singles, tag team, no matter what. So Sammy comes out, he's doing his thing, he's jacked and all of this and blah, 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 and all of that. And this older lady will come walking up, no matter where she is in any arena, mind you, if it's small or big, she will come all the way up and just throw her finger up and wave her arm. And I'm talking, she doesn't yell at Sammy. She screams so violently that I've seen this woman cry from screaming so much at some of you guys. She gets so into it. Oh my goodness. And you know exactly who I'm talking about, right?
Oh yeah. Of course. She still thinks it's the '80s still. She thinks it's in the '80s, but it's great stuff like that. When I see that stuff, I love it because it makes me know that I'm doing my job, and it makes it so much more easier as far as like match. Like it'll make it so much easier because then I could put my heat on the guy and then look at the lady and like, you like that? Huh? You like that? And just talk my shit, and she'll just be livid. She'll be red in the face, about to pass out. That's it. I love it, man.
She goes effing nuts for the bad guys. Oh my God, she
Oh,
loses her Evan Lovin' mind. Uh,
oh yeah.
Now, when you first started being, when you turned a page and got to the dark side, if you will, it didn't seem like you were, I mean, you were saying your stuff and you were trying to do, the interactive stuff with the fans. But I said to my dad, I go, I don't know if I'm really feeling this thing right now. And sure than shit, 2 or 3 shows go by, and I look at my dad and I go, hey, you remember what I said a couple shows back about Sammy and I'm not feeling it? I got 2 words. F Sammy. I am so sick of him already because you got it, dude. And man,
Man,
uh,
I just try to. My main thing was like I know Eli and Jay, how they're portrayed, and Richie was fairly new, so I was like, Richie, we're gonna run with each other. Like we're gonna be like Jay and Eli. Jay and Eli. We're just gonna be kind of the opposite of what they are. We're gonna be the like asshole cowards, and we're just gonna turn it up. Let's just have fun out there. So I just like every match. I like before every match. I always talk shit to Richie. I'm like, yeah. I act like I'll be nervous. I'll just like Richie say something to hype me up. I'll just, are you fucking kidding me? You're Sammy. You got this, bro. And I'll just be like, yeah, you're right. You're right. Ask me how I feel about this. He's like, how you feel? I'm like, I feel nothing. I feel nothing. And I always got to get a scream when I get out to the curtain because that just takes out all the nerves. Like every time there's a match, I'm nervous. I am so nervous, but it's just being a performer. Like I just want everything to go perfect. I just don't.
mhm.
I hate having bad matches or even hiccups in matches, but it is what it is. It's gonna happen. So you just gotta you gotta do your best to work around it. So when
Mhm.
it does happen, you gotta be a professional.
I correlate music with wrestling very so much on these shows because they're so similar to one another. I've been on the stage playing a little guitar, if you will, and it's a little bit different. You guys have to go in, and I know it's live TV when you're playing on a live stage or if you're wrestling live in the ring. It's almost like, and it doesn't matter if there's a hard cam there or not, but you always feel like the camera is on, the red light is on record. We've got to do some cool shit right here. And when you do these little flubbers, if you will, you kind of get like, oh, fuck. But you push on, you move on, and you get that rolling. But
Yeah,
in my case, I would play the very first song, and man, I was so effing nervous every single show. I've played these songs a bunch of times. I know how we do the opener. We kind of use the same opener and a rotation because we got to get the crowd involved a little bit right off the top. So
yeah,
we
yeah.
would
You gotta.
chug.
It's like a match. You want to start off hot, and then you
Hmm.
want to go down low, and then you want to do a nice comeback at the end. So
Yeah,
when you take it home, it'll be good.
yeah, because we're chugging like an F sharp, if you will. And I would get on the microphone. I would introduce us. I would say some stupid Kincaid shit over the mic. And then I would go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we all start doing, you got another thing coming from Judas Priest. Dude, after that first song, I'm all good, you know?
Yeah,
But you guys, you've got to go 5, 7, 10, 12, 20, 25, 30, 35. Your minutes, you're there. You're stuck right there. There's no kind of, okay, got that song done. Let's move to the next. So very together, I would say, like music and wrestling really mesh with the similarities that they have from one to another.
yeah, of course. Yeah, that's always my go-to example. I go to when people ask me like when they say like oh you're a wrestler, so, like even with kids they're like I tell my little cousin like I wrestle, I can wrestle. Oh, you're in the WWE? I'm like not yet, not yet. I'm still in the mixtape game trying to get a record deal. That's my best way. That's the best way. I even to my friends like when you go into the WWE, I'm just like I'm just out here trying to put out mixtapes so I can get a record deal. You know, that's my always go-to example how I can explain to my friends that how the independent wrestling is. Like I'm an
Dude,
independent music artist because they're trying to do the same thing, but it's just different.
yeah, that's awesome. I love that. I love that analogy. That's beautiful. Uh, now, Sammy Diaz is the ace, but also you've been, well, you've been doing this thing, and it could be right out from the curtain. It could be walking down on the side of the ring, jawing with the fans. It could be getting in the ring, standing outside the ring. It could be inside the ring. It could be all of those elements. You come out and you do this thing. I'm jacked. What is going on with that?
Oh man, it was just something I was clowning around with in training. We just I forgot who I think I gave one of the heavier guys a suplex or whatever it was. And I hit it, popped up like I'm jacked, I'm jacked, and I was like, Richie, get my Jack Daniels. And it was like we were just cracking up. I was just like, I'm just gonna start saying this just to pop myself. That's how I initially started. I'm gonna just pop myself in the ring when there's fans
Yeah.
there. And I'll pop Richie, and we just do stuff to pop ourselves really. And then if we could pop ourselves, hopefully it'll get to the fans eventually, even if it's slowly works its way to it. Like it was just something horsing around in training. That's how it really came about. I really got my I really got my I feel like confidence when I don't know if you saw on Facebook, Wagner Brown had one of the guys in a stalling suplex for like 20 seconds. It was like a kid that weighed like maybe 300 pounds.
Yeah,
Like
the
20
big
seconds.
boy.
Yeah. I did the same for 18 seconds. And there's no video proof, and I was pissed. Yeah, so I was talking shit after that happened. I was like, yeah, you ain't that big. But it's just like that's how it really came about. And even with the King of Cheat style, that's what I've been using also. I always say that because I was just watching a bunch of wrestling. I think it was Rocky Romero. He was like he's a king of sneak style, and I was like, man, that's pretty cool. And I was like, what can I switch? I was like, I'm the king of cheat style. I'm always fucking cheating in matches. So dude, that's what the fans always call me at PAPW. Cheater, cheater. I was like, fuck it. Let me just try to say it. It sticks some places, but I haven't really used it like elsewhere. So
Hmm.
I'm only using that like really at home at TOS and PAPW. So,
Hmm. Uh,
yeah,
but those little things, Sammy, you're watching wrestling, you see, that's why you keep your eye on the pulse, if you will, because then you
yeah,
pick up
true.
these little things and you just added, like you were saying, you're at training, something pops up. You kind of work with it a little bit. You saw something on TV, your brain started going. You work with it a little bit. That's how it goes, man.
Yeah, man. I feel like there's not too many. There's a lot of wrestling going on. There's a lot of people doing stuff that I'm the same. So I'm trying to like do stuff to be different, especially with our group with the firm. Like we want to be different, but we want to continue doing we want to continue doing what we're doing because it's working and we're doing everything right. We just opportunity will come with other promotions and other places. I know how it is certain places, so we just gotta keep working and we'll get on shows eventually. I know once we get back to this, I was going international this year before this whole COVID shit happened. So it sucks
Really?
now that yeah, man, I was gonna go to Italy and wrestle, and it just sucks. The whole situation we're in now. I was gonna go to Italy and Canada, and I was gonna go back down to I was talking in talks with this promotion in the Carolinas. So it just everything just this COVID shit sucks, man.
Well, don't let it bring you down too much, sir, because
Oh no,
yourself
I'm
and
definitely not, man.
No, no, because yourself and many others, this point in their career, it seems like we're finding a cool spot. Well, I know it's a weird time, but at this point in our local industry, if you will, I've met so many men and women and talked to them that they were saying, this was my year. I had this lined up. I had that lined up. So this was gonna maybe 2020 could have been the year that would have elevated many a career. Not that it can't, because it still can. All depend on where we go with all of this. But yeah, man, I've been finding that out a lot. This name I could have went, that promotion I could have went to. Like you're saying, Italy and Canada, and like, holy cow.
Yeah, man, it's just everything. Like not only just wrestling on pause, it's life in general. So
Yeah.
we gotta just be careful out here, man. We gotta be safe. We all gotta do this quarantine deal and COVID-19 deal. Stay safe, Like, I know it's gonna be a while before we get back to living our normal lives and regular lives. It just sucks. Especially for
Mhm.
guys that are making a bigger name quickly. Like a lot of guys I like as far as like up north. I'll even mention Christian Casanova. I like what he's doing. He
Mhm.
he was on PWI One to Watch, and I thought that was pretty cool because I like Christian a lot, and to see him like this was gonna be probably this was gonna guarantee be one of his breakout years, and to see everything on pause right now it sucks. And
Mm.
a lot of guys are working hard right now. Like I like Bear Country, those are my
Mhm.
guys. It's so many guys I can mention that's doing great. Waves and Curls, I like those kids. I was at Trayvon's first training session when he first started at XWA, and to see him grow to how he is now, I love him. I love him, man. He's a cool kid. He works hard, and hopefully we can get him in TOS one day. Those guys, I really enjoy them. As far as like, there's so many guys that's doing great that you can't
Mhm.
just mention, but I just mentioned a few. But as far as like other guys want to come back, obviously my guy Tyshawn. He did what he had to do. I don't blame him. He was in an unsafe environment. It was an unsafe environment, so he had to do what he had to do. I don't blame him. I
That
might have did the same thing.
that was a bunch of bullshit. Bullshit, I say. Big B, big S, exclamation points. That was BS. Uh, so we get back. Now, what I want to get back to the K1 Cup because it's used as a championship. It's not a 1 year, a yearly tournament or something like that. It's used as a championship. Now, when you became the first champion of the cup, did you second? I'm sorry, second because of brother greatness. I
Oh
forgot.
yeah,
Oh my
yeah. That's how irrelevant his run was because he barely defended. So I had to step up.
I don't know how I forgot about brother greatness because I love him to pieces. Hallelujah. Um, now you you were a home. TOS is your home, so like you were saying, you're defending it every single show or what have you. Did you like that the elevation of the cup being a championship? I would think, right?
Yeah, yeah, of course. I mean, it's different. You don't see a lot of promotions use a cup as a trophy. So anything that makes a promotion stick out different, I like it.
Mhm.
Like as far as the trophy, I love the concept and I love what it stands for. I just don't really, I really don't like traveling with it because it's a hassle. So you gotta take this thing in the car. You gotta strap it into the seat belt and make sure it's not rolling around in the car. But it's great, man. It's great. It's different. I really enjoy it.
Mm.
I enjoyed stepping up in that role, being a K1 Classic champion.
Hmm.
Uh,
Uh,
it just I like what it stands for, and I like the fact that it was defended every show because at least we have one championship defended each month, unlike the TOS Tag Team Championship and the TOS Championship, which those should be defended on the road events to make it mean more important. If that makes sense. Not
Oh
that the
yeah.
K1 Classic isn't important or anything, but
No.
yeah, it's just if that title's gonna stand out different from the other two, I feel like that's how you make it stand out, and that's being defended every month.
Right. I absolutely. I'm on board with Sammy Diaz. This has been a weird effing hour, man. We have agreed. We have shown some love. I didn't expect this from
What's our time frame? What's our time frame? I seen Dan and Man go over an hour and a half. What's your next? What time is your next interview?
over an hour and a half. I went 2.5 hours talking to a fucking plastic doll. Okay.
Some guy, huh?
Oh my goodness. We're at 50 minutes. I really didn't expect you to sit so long with me. This is kind of flipping me out a little bit.
That's all good. You're a jackass and all, but you're pretty decent to talk to. You're,
Oh my
you're
God.
not.
He
You're
gave
not.
me some love and called me a
You're not.
jackass.
You're not next to me, so you're not near me, so I don't have to strangle you or anything. You're through a camera.
That's true. I'll give you that.
What time's your next interview?
My next interview, I stretch them 2 hours a piece, so I do about an hour, and then we kind of wind it down, and then I can take the video, put some of Sammy's pictures on there, throw a little bit of music, then I put it up to the YouTube, so I can maybe do it and not have it all back up on me. So I've been turning them over pretty
Yeah,
quickly. I've been
that's
doing
cool.
all right.
I will definitely won't go 2 hours with you, but I might go over a little bit of an hour with you if that's cool with you.
Oh, dude, please. Yeah. Since I got you, I would never want to push you out. I would never rush anybody out ever. There's no time frame. But yeah, my next one would be at 7 o'clock. And
Oh, that's good.
we
That's
have
good.
we have Brandino Davis coming up next. And then after that, we've got Tyler Jones. I know you're familiar with probably both at least one.
Yeah. I'm yeah. Tyler Jones. What's his wrestling name? He does PAPW a lot also, right?
Yeah.
Is he Pika? No. Is he Pika?
That's his name. His ring name is Tyler Jones.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. And Brandon, I'm familiar with him from Beltline, so yeah, I'm pretty familiar with the guy.
Yeah.
We got time. We got time before the next one, so I won't make you go over 2 hours like Dan and Man. Trust me.
Speaking of Mr. Jones, I kept calling him Pinka with an N. I swear his name was Pinka. I felt like a jackass. I'm messaging him, and he's like, "My name's not Pinka."
Oh, well, you are a jackass. It's just.
I am. I mean, it is what it is, right? Woo. Now, the firm. I'm hoping. I would assume that you guys would really want to take this on a nice long run. Do you see that happening for the firm? Or is there a game plan where it's like, okay, we're going to stretch it for maybe X amount of time, and then let's see where we're at. And if this is where we're at and we're still doing good, we'll continue. But if, we might not be doing as well as we did previously, maybe we should try a singles thing. Has that ever been on the table, or is it just firm all the way through?
Firm all the way through. There is no if this doesn't work, and technically we all are single guys. We have we're not saying that we're stuck in a tag team or anything. Like Jay and Richie, they're tagging with each other. But there's not. Jay has had matches without Richie. Richie has had triple threat matches without Jay, and so forth. I myself am a singles wrestler right now, but that doesn't mean me and Elijah Six can't tag. When I came back, I tagged with Elijah Six against Danny Adams and Jay Brown, and we're not saying we're only doing tag team matches. We all can do singles matches if we want. Like what we have options. If you want to tag me and Jay together, you can book us together. If you want to have me and Richie, we'll do it. Like we all click. So at the end of the day, if whatever was needed from a promotion or whoever's needed, like me and Eli, we'll just do whatever we need. Like we're just gonna run as long as we can, and it definitely we're not gonna cut it short. Like if someone was to say like, oh, we're gonna break you guys up, we're gonna say no. Like we're not doing anything. Like we're going against it. Like, this is our thing. Like we're brothers at the end of the day. Like, I'm gonna stand up for my guys and like vice versa. Like we're running long. We're gonna see how long this goes. And it's firm biz till it's not.
La Familia, La Familia, if you will.
There you go.
Now, there's been a little thing that's kind of taken a bit of a life here. It was a small spark, but then it's carried on from Ooh, I love this part. From promotion to promotion, Richard E. Stone Esquire, he kind of wears this thing called I call it the powder blue jumpsuit because that's what it is. But Richard E. Stone Esquire, he says that it's a power blue suit, a bunch of malarkey. But now it's taken on a life of its own because we kind of start calling him Smurf, and it's taken on. Yes.
You don't like that. You don't like
Yes.
that at all, Kincaid. You don't like that at all. I don't know what these fans, what drugs they're on, but obviously they're stupid. That's not funny at all. To be poking at my friend like that. Not hilarious.
It is.
No, it's not.
Well,
all right. So let me do some interviewing for you, Kincaid. Let me just ask you some questions.
Oh.
What are some of your matches from Sammy Diaz that you enjoy, that you like, what you think are some of Sammy Diaz's best matches that you think that, oh man, he did great in that match, or even if you didn't like him, or just what are matches that you think Sammy Diaz that you like?
Well, I try not to say that I like any Sammy Diaz matches, so let's start there. Second off, two stand out right off the top, and we've already talked about them, but I'm going to reiterate on both of them and why. I haven't been up to the XWA in quite some time, and I haven't seen your work there footage-wise. I've only seen pictures from Picture Dave. So I can't go by any of those matches. So I'll go by the ones that I've actually seen. And again, we're going to touch upon two we've already talked about. Number one, because I got when Test Your Strength puts their cards on their events, my dad, he always asks me what's going on for the cards. And I go, Dad, you are going to love this one. It's going to be Brother Greatness versus Sammy Diaz Jr. for the K1 Classic Trophy. And he goes, are you shitting me? That was my reaction. I didn't have to pump up my old man or nothing. His raw reaction was, are you shitting me? Because Brother Greatness, great character, great in the ring. Sammy Diaz, great character, great in the ring. You guys are coming together, and not only in just a traditional match, but it's a match for a prize, a championship. That makes it what I consider, that's a high-profile match, especially in a company like TOS, because the fans that go there are sometimes recurring. Some newer ones come in, but a lot of the recurring fans. So we get your characters. We've gotten the storylines, and that's what I love, both characters and storylines, plus the in-ring prowess. But my reason being is because of I know each of you, and I knew that was going to be a fantastic match. Neither of you let us, the fans, down at all. The only thing that sucked is you won the cup. Other than that, great, fantastic match. Loved it.
Okay, thank you.
Now
that's the first one I never really had. I never went back and watched that match. I should go back and watch it because I don't know. I had a busy weekend that week. I think that was my third match that weekend, and I never went back and watched it. I don't know why. I should go back and watch it now that you mentioned it. You just reminded me.
Maybe you should, but don't take my word for it because you're going to see things. You're your worst critic, and you probably pick it apart a little bit. So just, kind of take that ride with me. I think it was a fantastic ride,
Appreciate that.
And then the second one, obviously we've already touched upon, Lone Survivor 2, main event. I've seen you in some cool matches. I've seen you in a lot of different situations, if you will, storyline-wise. But this one, my friend, the buildup of it, because, hey, one of the best things that I've ever seen in the Sammy Diaz career, for me personally, because I got a big fucking ha-ha out of it, was Mike Skyrose puts out a promo. He mentions both of you guys, you more than probably Brian Pillman Jr. Brian Pillman Jr. reacts but he doesn't talk Sammy Diaz, and he's the fucking champion. Oh my God, did I get a kick out of that? That was hilarious. But then you came out and you made it a point. You didn't overlook Mike Skyros, obviously, but you were kind of, Brian Pillman, you pissed me off. You didn't mention me. I'm the champion. Who the hell's Mike Skyros? Blah, blah, blah. Those promos leading up to it were fantastic. But then we get the match itself, and it's a triple threat. And I am telling you, boys and girls that don't know, again, if you don't know Test Your Strength, get on the fucking YouTube, look them up. It's very simple. Test of Strength. That's it. Look for this match specifically. Not that there's not more fantastic matches. Look at this one specifically. You can even go to my face page, my YouTube, the Kincaid Files. I love that. But you can go to my YouTube too as well. But go to Test Your Strength first. Check it out there. That's where you want to go. Sammy Diaz, Brian Jr., and Mike Skyros. Look that up. Sit back, enjoy the ride. Because again, storyline. Even though Brian isn't in the company, it still got us a little stirred up. Because you were pissed off at him. He didn't mention you. Skyros is a fantastic athlete. And when you guys came together, it was fantastic. We got soaked up right into everything that was going on in that match. You've obviously looked back at that. I would think so. I would hope so. What did you get out of that match? And I know you took the L. Woo! I know you took the L, but what did you take out of that match as you being in the ring?
I seen him. It was again. It was a pretty cool moment for me again, as far as just being in the main event of the show. I came back the year previously to be in the main event. It felt like I had been working hard, so it felt good to be in the main event again, and to be in the main event with those guys. I knew we was three guys that were more than capable of stealing the show and trying to put on a great match. And I watched it back, and I seen some mistakes that I could have did better. And again, we're our own worst critiques. And I watched it back, and I was just like, I could have did this better, could have did that better. But at the end of the day, I feel like I gave it my all that night, and I just made one hiccup, and that was taking my Skyros lightly. And I should have been more on him than I actually was. But that was a pretty cool match for me. I really enjoyed that one, just because I knew we were three guys that worked hard and we could easily have a good match.
That's the thing about that triple match specifically. Mike Skyros, Sammy Diaz, Brian Pillman Jr., not a one. Obviously, a slouch in the ring, work ethics, the whole 9 yards. Seeing you guys in the ring, I'm telling you, man, look, I get the goosey fucking bumps, and I got a skinny ass little arm here. I'm just talking about it. But I think you guys told a good story. You had great things that, you got the whole, when you guys are on your knees and punching each other, and then little by little you're standing up, you're doing that whole thing. That one spot, it involved everybody, and I thought it worked pretty well because it got us all so involved in that one little spot, if you will.
Yeah, like I really enjoyed that one. I like the Deuce building. I feel like that Deuce building. I have a lot of good matches in that building. I know you wasn't there for Fight for Your Dreams too, but I feel like me and Dickie Moon had a great match that night. At Fight for Your Dreams too, just because it was a 2-year build up, of a whole rivalry that started off as friends, and then we just bumped heads down the road, and you don't really get that too much. Whereas a 2-year build up from a different emotions to another one, and that one really sticks out to me just because it was damn near half an hour. And we went a couple minutes over, but again, we don't ask for permission. We ask for forgiveness, and I feel like I took the blame for it. I said it was my fault. We went over time, and I just had to explain like there's some things you can't rush in the match, and that emotion was there. That one sticks out for me. As far as I hate to mention this little whippersnapper. Who the hell is this guy? Ichiban. Who is this guy?
Number one.
What the hell is this? I had I had I had fun that match, even though that I had fun that match, even though that little son of a bitch was stalking us this whole time before leading up to the match. But there's so many matches that I can't remember until I see them, and I was like, "Oh, that was a good match."
and,
So many matches.
and there is, and the ones that I mentioned, that's not to slight. Like you were talking, the Dickie Moon feud that you had going on, that rivalry, uh, amazing for us, the storyline, because it went from TOS. It was that big, between the TOS and the PAPW, you guys were carrying it over, and man, we were having a blast with that. But I think my biggest holy shit Sammy Diaz moment, that was part of it, was the Dickie Moon thing, because we kind of saw it a little bit. So, but the biggest holy shit moment was when you came back post injury. We thought you were going to help out Jay Brown and company, and you just hammered them, those guys with a chair, and really mind effed us. So that would be probably my biggest holy shit Sammy Diaz moment right there.
Yeah, but that's one of my favorite moments. Also, this wrestling thing that we all do. Obviously, we do it because we love wrestling, but at the end of the day, wrestling is all about emotion, and moments. Emotion and moments. That's what I try to do every time I step into the ring. I think about what can I do to get these people emotionally involved, and what moment can I have that's going to stand out for when they leave that they're going to be talking about. So, man, since I started wrestling, that's all I've been trying to do is have moments. Because at the end of the day, when we're all hanging up our boots when we're done with this wrestling stuff, we just want to go back to watch our moments that we had in wrestling. Even the matches are great, but if they don't have you emotionally involved, or if they don't have that moment that has the people like, oh man, this was great, and that's the best part about it. Like I said it before, like when I wrestle, obviously I try to be the best, my ability to my. I try to be the best every time I step into the ring. Yeah, I'm not even gonna shy around it. I try to do anything I can to make my match stand out, even if it's doing some crazy spot, block, whatever it is. I know what we're in. I know this is ballet. I know my body's gonna be hurting the day after, but it is what it is. I love
Mm-hmm.
wrestling. I love these moments. I love those
I
moments.
would
You can't take those away from me.
Now, speaking of moments and big high profile matches, I would be remiss if I didn't mention this one specifically. And I know, again, you you took an L. Again, I loved it. Probably one of your biggest L's to date. Uh, Yourself and Sign Kid were in the ring post event training day, and Sign Kid pinned you 1, 2, 3. Referee Dickie Moon, he counted to 3, but Sign Kid wasn't very happy. He was crying his full head off. He was a little, he was, he was a little scared.
Hey,
That, my friend.
as he should be stepping in the ring with me. That damn Dickie Moon, that coward. But now, yeah, that was a cool moment for the birthday. I think it was his birthday or something like that. I don't know what it was. No, his birthday. I don't know what it was. It was just a cool moment for him.
Yeah, it
But
was just a thing.
yeah, it was just a thing. And he was a little scared in there, but he was crying. It wasn't planned or nothing. It was just on the fly. It was just happened.
Now, Sign Kid, they have come. They are one of the TOS faithfuls, and they've been going to the PAPW shows as well.
Yeah, man. Those guys, again, like, a lot of fans that come to the shows that continuously come to the shows over and over. You, your dad, Fogman, Laura, Dawn, the Stein kid, and his dad. You guys are awesome, man. You guys still suck for Born to Firm, but I give you guys your props. You guys show up. That's the best part. You guys show up.
Hey, how are you feeling about the product right now? Are you turning on the tube on Monday night and checking out Raw? Are you not feeling it? Or are you just kind of being like, you know what? I know what to expect. There's no crowd. I'm not even going to watch it. What's Sammy doing?
To be honest, I'm not watching no Raw, SmackDown, or not too much AEW. I watch certain matches from each show. I like what AEW is doing with certain some of the guys from the back, the locker room. They've got them on the outside of the barricade, so there's some guys reacting there. But I'm not really watching today's like wrestling because it's like we wrestle for the reaction of the fans, and now it's just like, oh man, this shit sucks. But it's just I give them credit. They're wrestling still. They're
Hmm.
trying to put the best show on for the fans at home. But I give them credit when gotta give credit when it's due, and I give them that credit. But I'm not really watching too much of the new product. I'm watching a lot of old stuff right now. I'm watching a lot of '99, 2000 Raws and
Okay.
SmackDown stuff like that. I'm watching a lot of Ric Flair stuff. I'm watching some old Hogan. I don't know, I like old school wrestling, even though I wrestle like a new school guy, But it just I just love my childhood, and I'm going back to it in a crazy time where we're going through right now. So
uh,
yeah, that's what I'm watching right now. A
if
lot of it
I didn't
also.
men- oh, it is a little tough watch. I mean, it is wrestling, but it's still a little tough watch. I'll agree with you there. Uh, I want to talk about PWA a little bit, because PWA, would I be mistaken? Is that where you kind of got your oats about, first started was PWA?
Yeah, I started January 7th, 2017. That's when I first started training. And I was there for 6 months before I had my first match in 2000. Yeah, 6, 7 months after I had my first match, it was a ladder royal match, battle royal, which eventually turned into a ladder match, and that was my first actual match. I took a opportunity. It was like, how do you feel about being in this match? I I just wanted my feet wet. I just wanted to have any match. I don't care if it was a ladder match. Throw me in. And then the month after that was me versus Dicky, my first singles match. It was my first one-on-one match. And so I was there about 7 months before they closed the doors in September. So that's where I first started. And then I went to Wags the same week it closed.
Mhm.
So that's where
Now,
that
if I found that once PWA closed, you men and women that were there kind of some went to TOS, some went over to PAPW, some went other places or what have you. So it was kind of broke my heart a little bit to see everybody just kind of do their thing, and I was like, wait a minute, these guys are at TOS now, and these guys are over here at PAPW. It threw me all off a little bit, but I hope you know, PWA is coming back, baby.
Oh yeah, I know. I know the school is coming back in Georgia. It's in
Hmm.
Georgia. As far as like the shows, I know they got one in Georgia. I didn't get the invite. That's okay. But no, I'm pretty sure down the road I'll be down in Georgia soon. I was the last graduating student out of PWA
Oh,
from
no kidding.
Connecticut. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure it's not. I didn't get an invite. It's just a matter of time. I know when they have a show back up here, there's no doubt that I feel like me and Eli were training and he was there. So
Hmm.
there's no question if we're gonna help out with the show and wrestling or even just showing up just to help out regardless. We'll be there.
Hmm. Uh, I've had Miss Kara Scarfo on my show. It was an
Yeah,
amazing time. We went outside in the
on a
beautiful
walk.
weather. Uh, you watched it?
Yeah, I watched them. I love Carrie. Yeah.
Oh man, I love her. She was such a doll man. Oh my goodness, she was so nice. Um, but CT, PWACT is gonna be. There's gonna be an event late summer, early fall. I know we're at a weird time, but that was the schedule. I don't know
Yeah,
if that
yeah.
schedule still holds, but man, I
I
can't
hope so.
wait till they come back and do some shows.
Yeah, they did. I like the way they did their shows. It's different. All the guys outside the ring,
Hmm.
random numbers get picked, and you just go at it. That what made them stand out different from the other product, and that was pretty cool for me. So I
I
love PWA. That's where I started. That's where all started for me. So it always holds a soft spot in my heart for me.
I love the concept of all of that. The good guys on the left, the bad guys on the right. You draw random numbers. The fans, we didn't know who was wrestling. The wrestlers, they didn't even know who they were wrestling. It was a lot of fun at that place, man. Holy cow.
Soon come, man. Soon come, we just got, even in this crazy time we're all dealing with, hopefully sooner than later.
Absolutely. So the name, the character, if you will, how come you didn't make up something like, Shockmaster or something crazy? You come out as Sammy Diaz. How come you just kind of kept the name, if you will?
I just wanted to be as real as possible, that as real as I can be, man. That's as real as it gets. That's who I am, Sammy Diaz. I didn't want to be uh Sammy something, or when I first started, when I was in the match, they announced me as just Sammy. The show after, I was just like, yeah, can we just say Sammy Diaz? And then I was like, yeah, that's fine. Because I was still new. I didn't know how it worked or anything worked. I was still like asking for permission to do certain shit. And it was like, yeah, can I come out with this shirt on? I was just so young and just curious how wrestling was. I was just so new. I didn't know how anything worked. So I was just like, okay, if I just say Sammy Diaz, that's who I am. You just say that. I didn't want to. I remember somebody pitched the name to me. It was like, "What do you think of the D?" And I was like, "What the fuck is that?" the D, like the dick. There was like, I don't know, maybe. I was like, "Yeah, no thanks, Dickie. Get out of here." But nah, it's just I just wanted to be as real as I could get. That was just who I am, Sam Diaz. That was I'm Sammy Diaz Jr., but that's my dad's name. So I just wanted to cut the junior out and just be Sammy Diaz.
I say this quite a bit on this show, but they say that the best characters are made of when you're just kind of yourself and juice it up a bit for wrestling, because then you don't have to create something from scratch and try to be, all sorts of creative out of the box and try to figure out a name and your attire and all of that.
Yeah, of course. Especially now, if you see a lot of guys that are signed on TV and they get released and they have another name.
Mm-hmm.
If I get signed, I want to keep my name so I don't have to change it up and have copyrights. It's my government name. So I'm not paying for nothing.
You know what? You know what's weird about when JR announces Jungle Boy. He's been introduced as Jungle Boy, right?
Jungle Boy, Jakked.
Yeah, and now he's been throwing in the Jack Perry stuff, and I'm like, what the hell is going on with all of that?
Yeah, it's just, I'm pretty sure it's just for like to grow him eventually just to be not just it's gonna be eventually probably just a nickname like Jungle Boy Jack Perry, just because Jack Perry might sound better for promotional wise, like Jungle Boy. That's just he's great. Don't get me wrong, but that's like Boogeyman. Like, Boogeyman was just a Boogeyman. It was just like
I know.
Jungle Boy Jack Perry. It sounds, to me, it sounds better. I like that.
But could you imagine it being like, by God, it's Boogeyman John Smith. Like, what?
Yeah. Yeah. Nah, that's different, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Well,
I got 15% on my battery. I say we go 5 more minutes if that's cool with you.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
I'll let you prepare for your next one. And
hey, that's fine, man. Absolutely. Now, cutting a promo, we talked about it earlier. You weren't really comfortable. You got to kind of do the generic stuff as a baby face, and I'm sure, you would have come up with different stuff or what have you, and kind of maybe seems the same or mundane, if you will. But you as a bad guy, you you talk a lot now, like never before.
Yeah, man, it's just like, if you got no restraints as a bad guy, you can just say whatever you want, and you don't care if you rub people the wrong way. That's where I feel like I can do better, where I could just say anything and just I'm trying to make people feel uncomfortable as much as possible and tell them to fuck off and all this other. But I don't. I try to make it mean something. I don't try to do the cheap heat stuff and stuff like that. But just try to make it.
Hey, hold on, Sammy, hold on.
You're good. You're good. What the fuck is wrong with this guy? He puts me on hold. He puts the champ on hold. Who's crying? This guy off the TV.
All right, we're good. Hold on. Holy cow. The little man fell on his ass down the stairs from up coming down.
He fell up the stairs. What a J-Brum.
Oh. I heard the tumble. I go, holy shit, did Jay Bricks just fall down the stairs in my house? That's how loud it was. No, sorry about that. I didn't mean to interrupt there. Before I do let you go, you guys are on the road. You guys must have some fun-ass times. There ain't no way that the firm is not having a blast on the road. Is there a little story on the road, funny, you can maybe share with the fans that's maybe not too dirty, not too detailed, but some funny stuff?
Oh, man. There's so many, like, every time we get in the car, it's like, it's a fun ride. It's just mainly dirty, but mainly, we'll just talk about our past, and, like, before wrestling, or we'll just talk about wrestling in general in life, but man, there's so many. It's hard to like one that sticks out. I don't know, man. It's just every time we get in the car, like there've been times where it's us four and somebody else would try to jump in the car and we're like, yeah, tell them we're in a packed car, pal. And that's but it's just like I don't know. It's we like riding with each other just so we don't have to bite our tongues if somebody else is in the car. But I don't know. It's just so many. Not one sticks out because every time we're in a car, it's just maybe just ribbing on each other or just ribbing on other people who are.
It's got to be nonstop promo in that car, right? Nonstop promos in that car.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's just always fun, man. You can't just pick out one moment. But
can I tell you a quick story before we get going here?
Good, man. You got time.
About Elijah 6 specifically. I had himself. He was in the back. TJ Howell III was in the passenger seat. I got forced to bring those guys home at one point because little car trouble, if you will. So they forced me to go drive them not only home, but I had to stop at like a Burger King or something, if I'm not mistaken. And Eli turned it on, my friend.
I think he told me where he turned into a ghetto.
Dude, oh my God, that kid! I swear he's gonna get us arrested.
That's what he always does. We go to a Cumberland Farms and he'll just like, yeah, I might go in here and act up. I was like, oh my God, don't embarrass me. Don't embarrass me. That's his thing. That's how he rips us. But yeah, that's what he does. That's Elijah's system.
That's the thing about you guys. And I know, wrestling is wrestling, and I get that. All right. And there's a line that's drawn between fan and wrestler. Totally get that. I don't try to push that bubble, if you will. But outside the ring, and I know we don't have the greatest relationship at times, but I've had a lot of fun with you guys. May it be at a show, out of the show, in the parking lot. Just watching your promos, you guys, even when you do them all together like that, with Ichiban you thought was in the trunk and it wasn't, that was effing hilarious. But I've done stuff,
Don't talk about those illegal things right now.
Kidnapping, for prosperity, the firm, kidnapping. So anywho, there was one time at a Friday Night Alley fight that I stalked Elijah 6 and I ran up on him with my phone and he was buying Slim Jims at a Dollar General. One of my all-time favorite moments in wrestling ever.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Oh my God, I love that video so much. Now, Mr. Diaz, from here on out, We've got a weird time going on. Hopefully we can get back, get in the ring. You said you have the K1 obviously in sight, Mr. Skyros, the champ. Woo! Other than that, are there any promotions that you might be looking in the future to spreading your wings and going other places?
Oh, that's definitely. I want to go to there's a promotion in Florida. I just want to hit all the big cities. I want to go to California. I want to go back to New York. I want to do Texas. I want to do Chicago. Just the main cities. I got friends in each of those states where they said they'll help me out, and Ohio also, um, Georgia with PWA back. I'll take that trip for the fun of it, and just mainly, I'm just trying to focus on. I really want to win some gold in XWA. I really want to do something over there. I want to do something. I want to PAPW. I want to come after gold there, not just the alley fights. There's other places I want to go also, even up north with Limitless and Beyond, Chaotic. I just want to hit those places up also, but with time, everything falls into place. But as of right now, I'm just working at what I can do to better myself physically in the gym, and I still have access to a ring. So as much time I can get into the dojo, I'm gonna keep doing it, and try to get better.
Nice. It's got to be pretty cool to have the access right now at a weird time, I would imagine.
Yeah. Try to keep the numbers down as far as people who we're training with.
For sure. Mr. Diaz, this time that we spent together, very the opposite, because I do this little envisioning thing of how an interview is going to go, or hopefully maybe turn out, or just going to turn out in general. This was not my envision for this one. We kind of hung back. We talked really cool. There was a couple hiccups. We talked about your losses and stuff, and stuff like that. But this has been really cool, and I appreciate you spending the time and talking to us, the fans, Mr. Diaz.
No problem, man. I was pretty chill today because I had my cigar. I had my getaway time from the little one and the fiance. Just chilled. So I didn't want to give you a bad vibe today. I didn't want you to give me a bad vibe. So it's a good getaway time, especially with no wrestling going on right now. I didn't get to see you in a long time, so it was pretty decent. Try to take it easy on you today.
Wow. Again, showing me a little love. Not used to that shit.
No. Not love, just dealing with you in a proper way. Professional manner.
I thought we were kind of breaking barriers. Whatevs.
No.
This. Oh, come on, man. This is Turn the Pot with Don Kincaid and my very special guest, the ace, Sammy Diaz. Thank you, my friend, for stopping by and hanging out.
No problem, man. Make sure you always keep it firm, biz, with yours truly, the ace, Sammy Diaz. Pleasure. Thank you for having me, man.